Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner. So, you've probably been wondering how my experience at the Edmonton Legionals went on. As in what I played, how I did, and all that jazz. Well, to be perfectly honest, as far as the Legional itself went, it was a complete disaster for me. I was going to play Dragon Rulers at it, and then at the very last moment I decided to switch to Disaster Dragon, feeling that I would run into Lightsworn Rulers and Burnities. I figured it would have been a good meta call for the event. And that didn't really quite work out anywhere close to as I hoped. In fact, I ended up dropping my first match to Lightsworns because, well, it just kind of fell out of control. Like, game one, round one, I won against Lightsworns, and that's because, well, I managed to drop Red Med and Drago on board because I resolved an Eclipse Wyvern through Dragon Shrine, or was it Foolish Burrow? I was running Eclipse Wyvern in my, okay, I'm not even going to show you guys my deck because that's how terrible it worked out for me. On paper, it looked really good. It was just a standard list with Red Mid, the Rulers, playset of Drago, playset of Mast, 2 Exploder, Delta, and Blizzard Dragon, and then I was opting to run a single Eclipse Wyvern over the second Blizzard Dragon, as I thought it would have been useful in searching a Red Mid and getting my shit going. That didn't really work out near as well as I hoped. I should note, though, that Wyvern is a light that you can synchro with Delta Flyer in order to make Michael the Arch Lightsworn. And that's something we can consider in the future. And that also enables us to make Light and Dragon. So there is that. But I did that. 3 Shrine, 3 Charge. Soul Charge was the best card in my deck, by the way. Like, I will advocate writing 3 in here, even if you're playing a slower, less aggressive build of Disaster Dragon, because getting out a Synchro Monster alongside Drago is important in keeping, in allowing us to actually win some of these matchups. Like, Drago alone, not enough. Drago Stardust Spark Dragon, a hell of a lot better. And the thing was of this build was, I decided to try out 3 main deck Royal Decree alongside 2 Wing Blast and then some one-off traps, Torrential and Bottomless, because I thought in theory that I would play a lot of Geargia and a lot of Hack, and those 2 cards kinda shut those down. That also didn't work out as I hoped. In retrospect, 3 Wing Blast was a lot better with the 2 Decree, as I was really lacking in defensive options. And it definitely showed against Lightsworn again. I was able to get Drago out a couple times in games 2 and 3, but Drago was either beaten over or my means of protecting Drago was gotten around. Like, number one, there's now breakthrough skills, so they can shut off Drago when they want to. Ryder can also crash with him unless you've got like prison or something for it. And this guy was also main decking Lances, and he also had Honest like the couple times I tried to beat over his things with Drago, so Drago didn't stay on the board very long in game 2. In game 3 I opened with Shrine, Soul Charge, Drago, so I was able to make Stardust Spark and Drago, and I was able to beat at him for a little bit, but he was eventually able to just go into an arc, so he sucked up my Stardust Spark, and I had nothing to stop him after that. He had an Iron Wall up, which was shutting off my title, but it was also shutting off his Necro Gardeners, all 3 of them, his multiple breakthrough skills, and his multiple skill prisoners. So I had to try and deal with his shit without using my rulers, and then time got called. I'm like, well, I pretty much lose because I'm down by 2,000 life points. He's got all the defense in the world, and to top it all off, he lets his Michael die, so he shuffles back in enough Lightsworn so that he gains almost 2,000 life. Again, match out of reach. Round 2 is up against a hard anti-meta deck, the kind that mained Memory of an Adversary. Like, it was just strict anti. Like, this guy was probably just trying to basically just shut off the expected decks, and in my opinion, Disaster Dragon does not grind anywhere close to as well as it used to, not with only 1 Red Med, 1 of each ruler, no Ravine. Just, this deck can't play the grind game anymore, and that's why I was running Decree. Fortunately, I didn't see it game 1, and yeah, I just got blown out. Like, I don't think I inflicted any damage to him. Game 2 was a little bit better. I was able to open with Soul Charge into Red Med in Mass Dragon. No, No, wait. I opened with I had Mash Dragon, and he knew what it did, and he did not want to trigger it at all. So it was basically pass and go, pass and go, pass and go until he Dark Holed it off. But then I was able to slow charge out Red Mid and Mash Dragon. I just kind of just sat on that. I was trying to set up some plays through Red Mid, but eventually he got through it with hands, so I had basically nothing. He also DD curled the hell out of me at least 2 to 3 times, like both on a Soul Charge play and a Tempest play. And I was just running out of monsters, and I was just unable to keep up with his draw set back row, draw set back row. And if you're asking about what about Decree in that game, every time I flipped Decree, it got MST'd. So that was really unfortunate. I'm pretty sure I also ran into a wiretap when I was trying to resolve some other stuff. So that was a complete blowout. And then round 3, I get paired up against an awful Noble Knight deck, like the kind that main decks the field spell. I win game 1 because I'm again able to resolve Red Eyes plus Drago through dumping Eclipse Wyvern, banishing for Eclipse Wyvern, and banishing the ruler for Red Eyes, and just keeping Drago on board. But games 2 and 3, I have no way of dealing with a Noble Knight equipped with Guinevere, in particular Boars. Just Boars plus an Equip was able to beat over Drago. Boars plus Guinevere just blew up everything I had, and I didn't see a single MST for the Gwen. I didn't see my Wing Blast. I didn't see my book. Like, I just drew no outs to that, so I eventually just have to scoop. And at this point, I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. Because after 3 losses, there was no chance of me topping. And at this point, I was just going to continue to play suicide decks or just bad matchup decks. Gear was also the most played deck, so I do not know how this deck even fares against Gear. I've never had the chance to play the test of matchup. And frankly, the way that day was going, I don't think I would have done any better. So that was that. Packed it up. I was like, okay, I'm just going to trade now. Shoot videos. It was really depressing as I had so much confidence in myself in the deck, and then this just completely just took a like all that just got shat on. And it made me wonder just really what, like, it made me question just the true viability of the deck. Like, it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. After all, this is a deck that started in 2009, and here we are in 2014, and it's kind of still trying to play like then. Mega Monkey kind of said it best when, between the ban list hits and the power creep of the game, Disaster Dragon is just not what it used to be. Sure, there's going to be some neat little tricks it gets now and then, but as far as a competitively viable deck, I just don't know anymore. The people that do really well with the deck, I think, is more because of the fact that they're just really good players. Whereas I haven't been playing the deck nearly as much ever since, well, Red Med got hit, and since then there's also been just more Dragon decks for me to play. Like, the reason why I got on the Disaster Dragon to begin with was that it was the best Dragon deck available. Hopeless Dragon? Oh, please. That was terrible. And Dragoon and me lost to Siding back in the day. But now there's even more options for dragons. There's Chaos Dragons, Hieratic Dragons, Dragon Rulers, and there's the upcoming Yang Zing. So, yeah, it's not as limited anymore. Like, Disaster is no longer the de facto best Dragon deck, so I have, like, different alternatives if I want to play dragons. But there's still things I think that can be done with this deck as far as like little tweaks. Like, I want to try out Silver's Crown and Luster Dragon. Like, there's some things I just want to try out in Disaster Dragon before I completely say I'm done with it. But yeah, this was just a very sobering experience, and yeah, I was just really disappointed. Like, I don't regret playing the deck because I wanted to see just how well Disaster Dragon stacks up against some of the best players in Canada, period, and unfortunately, not very well. Be it because of my build not being proper, some things just not going my way, i.e. Game 2, Game 3 against Lightsworn, where he just milled really well. Like, honestly, if I could mill like that guy did, I would have played Lightsworn there too, because JD live on turn 3? Oh, that's great. So, yeah, I don't, like, in theory the Decree build sounds great. lock down their traps, beat them down with my monsters, but it just didn't really work as well as it does with rulers. And yeah, I was just really sad by that. I did, though, again, pick up some swag. I picked up some Ultimate Rare Pocket Miri Drago, so now I'm at 2 of those. I got Ultra Rare Mystical Space Typhoons, which is something I've wanted for a long time. Got rid of my Noble Knight core for about close to $200, and then I got, from the Noble Knight core, I picked up an Artifact core, so I can finally start building Artifact variants, Artifact Batterymen. So stoked! And for when the hero structure comes out this fall, I get to play around on this. Is this not awesome? It was only $20. I thought that was a steal. Granted, Mega Monkey was able to pick up a Spellgram mat for $150, but I don't particularly care for Spellgram mats anyway. Like, they look nice, and sure, they have the pro feel, but I don't know, there's just something about these kind of mats that I just like. But yeah, if you were wondering how I did at the tournament and what I played, now you know. It was Disaster Dragon. It was not an optimal build. That's why I'm not showing you guys the deck. It was just not good at all. The only thing I can really say is Soul Charge is the best card that we have. Dragon Shrine, a couple Master Dragons. You've got good ways of setting it up. And just even Soul Charging out one Master Dragon in defense, I'll gladly take 1,000 life points damage for that, because it allows me to maintain field presence and dig into my deck. So yeah, that's all I really got to say on this. Now that this thing is done with, I can finally stop playing strictly TCG only. I can finally start playtesting for when Duelist Alliance comes out, because I want to test Satella Knights, I want to test Yang Zing, and I also want to test Heroes. Those are the 3 decks I'm looking to play the most in the future, and keep an eye out for them. So until next time, everyone, this is BlueStar899, jacking out.